Hey everyone, welcome to another one of my YouTube videos. So in this video, I'm going to be reviewing the Ford GT40 MK2 model car. Alright, manufactured by Fujimi. Just a little bit of history about this car. So this car won the 1966 Le Mans as written in the box here. Okay. So I'm not sure if you've seen the movie Ford versus Ferrari, alright? So if you have, you will definitely recognize this car. Okay, this car is famously portrayed in the movie as having won the race. But obviously, surrounding that win, there's a lot of controversy. Okay, in the movie, it actually shows that this car actually won because the leading car, driven by Ken Miles and Danny Hulme, was asked to slow down so that they can have a photo perfect 1 2 3 finish, okay, to the finish line, across the finish line. Yeah, so I did do some reading, all right, and I did watch some documentaries about this incident actually, and I'm actually getting a lot of conflicting views on what actually happened. One view is just like as the movie portrayed, this car won because the Ken Miles car slowed down towards the end and things like that. But I also read other views which suggest that this car, which is driven by Bruce McLaren and Chris Amon, actually slowed down much earlier because they were asked to slow down by the Ford executives, because they wanted to make sure that the car could cross the finish line reliably. All right, so whichever view that you take, that is up to you. I'm not going to speculate, or I'm not going to comment on that. So as you can see, this is the box. So let's look around the box. Now right here itself, right, there's something very peculiar. All right, the car that is depicted here is actually not the same car that is here, because the Bruce McLaren car, right, it was actually painted black, just like the picture here. But on this picture on the side of the box, you can see that the car is actually blue. All right, I tried to Google it up and I actually found that this is actually one of the 1967 Ford GT40s, not the 1966 one. So I'm not really sure why Fujimi decided to do that, because it's quite misleading. All right, the car is obviously not blue. Okay, this car is supposed to be black. One more thing about this car is that you can see that the decal is actually quite translucent in the completed model. I mean, you can see, I don't know if you can see here, all right, but yeah, you can see this, the white circle is not really very white. You can see that the blue is actually kind of bleeding through the white, and where there's an overlap between this white circle and this stripe, right, you can see the stripe is actually, although the stripe is behind, but it's being, you can see through the circular white decal. So this actually tells me that the decal that is provided here is probably quite translucent or transparent. So if I were to build this kit, I might just have to paint, or rather to paint the circle white and maybe the stripe as well, instead of using the decal, just to avoid the problems that I see here. Pretty cool. This kit is manufactured in 2014. All right, so it's a fairly new kit. All right, but I know that this kit is not a new kit per se. It's actually a re-release of an older model. All right, because I remember when I was young, okay, back in the late 80s, early 90s, right, I saw this model kit being sold in one of our local department stores. And I remember on that model, right, there's a cutout over here, all right, and you can actually see through the box, and they actually place the body work or the body of the car on this side, so you can actually see through the box and see the body inside. I remember that car very clearly. And of course, since the movie came out, basically a lot of these GT40 kits in 124 scale, they are pretty much sold out in a lot of online hobby shops. So you might have some trouble finding one at a decent price. Alright, of course you can always go to eBay, but I've seen the prices skyrocket in eBay itself. Even today I checked, the price is reaching close to $100 per kit. Let's open up the box. Alright, so first of all we have the instruction manual. Alright, we have some nice photo etch parts. Looks like photo etch parts, which is cool. The decal sheet is all inside. You have one clear sprue and 2 sprues for parts. This one is mostly for the interior. As you can see, it's like a beige color, and then you have the black one, which covers a lot of the suspensions, and I can see like half of the gearbox here, or maybe just the gearbox, and the floor panel is here, the seats, and you also have the body itself, the main body. Okay, it's molded black. Okay, now we look at the manual. First thing that strikes me about the manual is it seems to be very thin, alright, which kind of tells me that there really isn't much assembly to be done. Alright, as you can see here, there's only 1 page, 2 page, 3 page, and 4. There's only 4 pages of assembly. So this is a fairly simple model kit to put together. Alright, now as mentioned earlier already, the body is see, the body color is H2, which is black. Alright, you have the seats, and you have the seat belt. So this kit actually comes with some seat belt detail, which I will show you later. Alright, and then you assemble the interior, put together the wheels, suspensions, alright, the tire transfer decals, and finally you just assemble all the various pieces onto the body itself. Alright, so this is the clear sprue. It's interesting to see that there's actually quite a lot of clear parts, and there appears to be duplicate parts, you know, like the door windows. You can see that there are 2 versions here, you know, this is one version and this is another version here. So I guess this might be the same set of sprues that they use for different Ford GT40 kits. Alright, I did do some research online, and Fujimi actually has quite a number of GT40 kits. Okay, I counted at least 15 different versions. So probably some of these parts are meant for the other versions, right? And they just use the same sprue. You can see you have the dashboard, the door. I believe this is the door panel. Yeah, this thing looks like the hood. No, this is the hood. Yeah. And then yeah, some suspension bits, I guess. Alright, so fairly simple kit. There's some more suspension bits, there's some more parts for the wheels. You have the seat here. The seat has molded on like some profile, you know, like circular profile, just like in the movie when you see the car. And also it has pedals, which is something very interesting. Yeah, you don't really see a lot of kits that come with pedals, but it actually has pedals, which I find fascinating. Alright, and I'm not sure if you can see clearly, but the brake disc, right, it has molded circular lines, you know, just like the rail car. You know, the brake disc is not like a nice flat silver part. You know, you will have those lines that going around, the circular lines, to show that the wear and tear of the brakes of the brake disc. So you can actually see that, you know, these circles are actually molded here. So you know, you might be able to like dry brush it later and all to bring out the detail a little bit. So this is the body itself, nicely molded, shiny. It feels very rigid. It really feels very rigid. Panel lines appear to be quite deep, which is something that I like, so that I don't have to scribe the panel lines again. Yeah. Now just looking at the body itself, you can see the car is actually a very nice, it has a very nice silhouette, you know. It has a very nice shape. Alright. And of course here you have the gigantic hole in the back. More on that later. And here you have the wheels. Alright. So the wheels have nice thread patterns on them. I don't know if you can see that. The wheels or the rims, they are actually they're pre-painted silver or chrome if you want to call it. But funnily enough, the actual car, right, the rims are actually painted gold, okay, not chrome. Even on the box here, it shows this chrome, which is actually not correct. I mean, if you've already watched the Ford versus Ferrari movie, right, you will see this car actually has gold color wheels or rims, right? So I'm not really sure why they did that, but I guess you could just paint you know, gold over it or airbrush it or something like that. And this is the interesting part that came with the kit. It actually has photo etched detail set. Alright, I can see some hood pins here. It looks like some sort of pin for the hood, which looks to me like this part right here. Alright, this part is provided as a photo etch part. You have some seat belt buckles. This looks to me like the seat belt part as well. This one I'm not sure what this is. And finally you have the big grill that is supposed to go at the back. Alright, so you see this hole here. Right, so the grill is supposed to go here. So it's actually very interesting that Fujimi actually did or give this kind of photo etch parts, you know, so that you can actually add more details to this model without actually having to spend additional money, you know, which is always a good thing. All right, just hang on, let me just try to open this because there appears to be more stuff in here. Let me just cut it open. Let's see what we have here. Okay, so inside this goodie bag here, we have what appears to be seat belt material. All right, and this material appears to be adhesive kind. All right, as you can see here, it is like a sticker. Okay, so not only you get the seat belt photo etch buckles, but you also get the seatbelt material, which is really cool. Okay, I really like that, and I'm amazed that Fujimi actually thought to this extent, you know, to give us this kind of parts. So thank you, Fujimi. Also here you have the tire, you know, dry transfer decals. All right, Goodyear. Is it Goodyear? It actually has Goodyear and Firestone. Okay, I need to check exactly what tire was this car using. Alright, so finally you have the main decal. As you can see, this car didn't have any sponsorship, you know, so there's no sponsorship on the decals. It's just a black mean looking car with some, you know, big number decals and things like that. One thing interesting though is that the white part, the white circle behind the two actually appears to have yellowed, which is really surprising, because as I said, this is a 2014 model, so it shouldn't have yellowed so quickly, but for some reason it has. So yeah, all the more reason I'm just gonna have to paint it, or maybe I might have to get another spare decal set or something. And all the stripes are actually provided as silver decal, as you can see here. There's some instrument panels here, instrument panels. So yeah, overall I would say it's a very interesting model by Fujimi. It looks like it's a very fun build. It looks like it's an easy build as well, as there's not many parts. So yeah, I would really highly recommend this kit. It looks like a very interesting kit. Of course, you need to shop around a little bit to get one at a very good price. Okay, it's definitely possible. I bought this my kit for about I think about $30 US. So it's definitely possible for you to get one for a reasonable price. You just have to look hard enough. All right. So that's all from me this time. Thanks for watching my video.